What's up, y'all? Welcome in, welcome in. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, mic check. Connected YouTube chat. All right. Testing. Let's see. Another day, another day. Keep it up. What up, buddy? How are you? TikTok chat always takes a second for it to come up. There it is. Boom. Look at that. Wow. Thank you for the heart, me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Cool. Pretty pumped about that, actually. What's up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Welcome in. Welcome in. What camera and lens is being broadcasted on? Right now, I'm using a, on TikTok, I'm using a R10 and a 23mm Sigma. I'm a Canon user. Nice. It looks so crisp, really nice. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What up, YouTube? One viewer over there. Okay. I added a chat thing so that people can see the combined chat, except that TikTok takes a little while to like connect. Which is fine. No problem there. There's an echo. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what it's at. There it is. Elgato Virtual. There we go. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Is it gone? There might be a music echo, too. There it is. Is that better? Yeah, so earlier I had some technical difficulties with a new thing that I was working on. What was it? It was the I'm telling you guys, audio, like I'm good on the video stuff, all that stuff is good, but when it comes to audio, it's like hard, man. Audio is one of those complex things. Can you guys hear my sound effects? You should. Yeah, audio routing and getting all that shit right is tough, dude. I have a crazy request. Hold on. Why is my TikTok not working? Ooh, new post. Allow auto post. Yes, post. Is it possible to do photography and videography at an event with only one camera? Yeah, of course. It's just a little, it's a little tough. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, it's definitely possible. Does the ooh woo work? Post. Why is it so dark? Is it dark right now? Hello, bro. Is Fujifilm good for a beginner? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I think so. Oh, I also added a new angle. Check this out, guys. Hi. In case you guys wanted to see stuff from the side. This angle right here is in case I ever want to like build a rig. Instead of you guys just seeing the top-down version, I can actually just, I got like a little AI camera right here. Best lens for the Sony 6700. Yeah, that's a great question. Guys, I have all of the things that I recommend in the first link in my bio. And then you can find the link in bio right here on my profile page, the Amazon storefront. But the lenses that I recommend for most crop sensor cameras are the Sigma lenses. These Sirui lenses are nice for the 6700 as well. Caster Labs. Let's see if that works. My chat on TikTok needs to be popping up and it's not for some reason. We'll see if we can get it resolved. Thanks for the sub, bro. This year I'm gonna buy the XT5. Is that good for start photography? Hell yeah, the XT5's sick, dude. The XT5 is awesome. I have subscribed to you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. FX30 versus the R5C. Probably the R5C, the full frame. Hell yeah. What is the best compact camera for concert alternative to the SX740? Isn't the SX740 a point and shoot? I kind of like the what is it? The Sony PowerShot, the V1. I like this one a lot. Yeah, this one's nice. Connected to TikTok. There we go. So we got TikTok connected. For some reason, I have to turn on TikTok first and then Caster Labs. RF 24 to 105 f4 or 28 to 70 f2.8. Ooh, Bob, I would probably do I'd probably do the L series lens. Yeah, I'd probably do the L series lens. Do they let you take that camera inside festivals? This one, yeah, they'll let you. The PowerShot, you'd have to check the rules, but usually what they don't want inside of festivals is lenses that are longer than like 6 inches or 8 inches or something like that. What do you recommend for someone that wants to transition from a DSLR to a mirrorless? Depends on what your budget is, really. Yeah, it really depends on what your budget is. But also, guys, I added this little chat box over on the YouTube screen, so I'm talking to YouTube specifically. Is this helpful? I'm hoping that you guys can see TikTok's chat and YouTube's chat as well. I just started working on it. Excuse me. Is the normal 50mm lens good? Yeah, the nifty 50, the plastic fantastic they call it. Is the XT5 good for video though? XT5, yeah, I like the XT5. I've been looking at that camera all day. XT5. I mean, you're not gonna make like you're not gonna make any Michael Bay movies or anything like that. But it has 40 megapixels. It has IBIS. It shoots 4K 60, 6K open gate, 10-bit video. 7-stop IBIS, yeah, man, yeah, for sure. Oops, wrong one. This is this is what YouTube sees, by the way. So up here at the top, guys, I'm using a Canon R50 with a 16mm, and then over here on TikTok, I'm using a what is it? R10 with a 23mm. Yeah, you are fire, bro. I'm gonna directly buy the XT5 this year. Nice, dude. You should. What do you recommend for use for long time for budget with lens max $500, $700? Probably the R50. Yeah, probably the R50. Is the A7R5 a good camera with an 800mm G Master lens? Yes. What is good camera for around 150? 150 euro is tough, dude. I don't have no recommendations for 150 bucks. That's kind of tough. I was asking how to fix my D32 earlier, but think I know. What was wrong with it? Rimbo Slate. You said it was a new camera, right? I think that was you. Sony A7R2 or Sony A6000. Good camera. I have both. What do you think about it, Boss Wolf? If you own the cameras, man, you don't need validation from me, bro, if you already have them. What kind of web do you use to edit? Is that DaVinci? I use Premiere Pro. I use Premiere. 6 people on the YouTubes. Ooh woo. Oh, long one. Ooh woo. But yeah, guys, if you are interested in any of the gear that I'm actually using, you can find my page in the first or couple first descriptions in the link in bio, and also in the first link in the description. For the TikTok world, you can find that up here, and here I have everything categorized from my YouTube set to my cameras to my lenses to filter accessories, my workstation, all this kind of stuff. How are you live on all at once? So I have a what's it called? Actually I have this camera here. So what I have is I have 2 cameras, 1, 2, and then, oh guys, check this out. This camera moves. And then I have a camera up here, this camera, for the top one. And then I have OBS right here, sending a signal out to YouTube and sending a virtual cam over to TikTok right here. So you can see TikTok right there. Kind of neat. I just installed that camera earlier. I was like, hey, what can I do over here with this little guy? Is it a cheaper option to the R50, which is just as good? No. R50 is that's like the best, cheapest camera that you can buy. Good vlog camera. R50. 300 to 600 for sure. Sony A7R5 or the A7 IV? It depends if you want the 60 megapixels. Yeah. What lights are you using now? The lights that I'm using right now, guys, you can find them right here. I have them all linked. Here I have some tube lights that you can see over here. That's these ones, the Viltrox tube lights. K60s they're called. And then I'm using in the back over here, I'm using is it this one? In the back here I'm using a Zhiyun light, and then I got another Zhiyun light over here, so I'm using this one. Last purchase, look how long ago I purchased this, guys. Oh, hold on. I purchased this camera, the Zhiyun G60, 3 years ago. They're still kicking, dude. And then I'm also using this guy. This guy right here. Again, you can find all of these links, you guys, in my, if you're on TikTok, find it in my first link in bio, and the first couple of links in the description of the YouTube channel. I like that little Insta360 cam. That one was really cool. XT5 or Sony A7 III for photography? Probably the XT5. What's the best Sony A7RV chest mount? Chest mount? What do you mean? You want to strap a camera to your chest? Is that what you're saying? It's kind of wild. Is the R7 a good camera, and what lens would I get for aviation photography? The R7's nice. I have an R7. What lens would you get? At least a 100 to 500. RF or an EF or an RF? Let's do the RF. RF 100. I'm going to buy this lens one day. Yeah, I'm going to buy this lens one day. 100 to 500. I want to take a trip to like Alaska or like, yeah, Alaska. This would be great on the R7. Oh, but this one has a converter. Does it come with a converter? I don't think it does, but you can put a converter on it. You put a converter on this bad boy, that's it. RF 100 500 is insane. It is insane. Are you a Fujifilm fanboy or is this an objective opinion? No, photos are great, man. Fujifilm is for photography, dude. Fujifilm is for photography, dude. A7 IV user with 35 and 50 millimeter next lens. Would you want to go wide or do you want another prime? Do you want to zoom? What are you looking at, Chris? Yeah, that lens is amazing. ZVE 10 with a Tamron 17-70. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, for sure. Is a Lumix S5 good for video, bro? The S5 II is. I don't know about the S5. Because in my neighborhood, there's no Fujifilm users. I don't know where your neighborhood is, but I wouldn't be making my decisions based off of what's in your neighborhood. What is the best camera for sports photography? Canon R3. R3 or the R1? This guy right here. By the way, I did ask the YouTube people. I added a little chat window here. Is it helpful? I hope it is. That way you guys can see what the TikTok and the YouTube and YouTube is saying together. I could put it over in the TikTok, but TikTok will get mad at me, I think. Is a Nikon Z5 224 good for beginners? Yep, absolutely. The marked one. Sorry if my English are bad, cause this my second. No worries, man. Is the Canon T6i a good beginner? Out of JS photography, I don't recommend any Rebel cameras, bro. I don't recommend any Rebel cameras. They're just too old and not good. I think Canon's scamming with the Rebel series. A7 IV user with 35 zoom, please. 24 to 70 or a 70 to 200. ZVE 10 or 6700. If you can save up for the 6700, I would do that for sure. Yeah, for sure. Sony FX30 with a Sony G Master 24-70 for freelance. Yeah, dude, that's a nice combo for sure. 24 to 70 G Masters, you can't go wrong with that lens, dude. I'm thinking of upgrading to an R50 though. Then get the R50. What's a good Fujifilm that's priced to the R50? Why do you want a Fujifilm when you have the R50? Thanks, Sigma Art 70 to 200. Yeah, Sigma is nice, Chris, for sure. I'm 29. Is it too late for me to become a good photographer and make a living out of it? Fuck no, bro. I started when I was... I'm 35 now. I started when I was 30. No, 20. Yeah, I was 29 or 28. 6 years ago. I don't have it yet. I'm trying to think of a good option. The good option is the R50. The R50 is nice, dude. The R50 is what I'm using right here. This is the R50 up here with a 16mm lens. It's really nice, man. It's really nice. Yeah, I'm using this R50 right now with this 16mm. And then the R10 with the 23mm. And then I have this top-down shot right here with the R50V. And here I can like show you guys like my cameras and like my lenses and just kind of, you know, do anything. I also got this angle today, guys. None of you guys commented on it today. Got this angle as well. This is a webcam over here though. Oh, this right here is a Sony ZVE 10 II Also, I got this for the Sony fanboys. It's a nice camera. In my country, if you get $1,000, that was tough. Man, is there any good Leica cameras for aviation photography? I don't think you want a Leica for aviation photography, bro. It's a Leica, man. Okay, thank you. What lens would you suggest for planes, landscape, and cars? 18 to 50, 24 to 70, 70 to 200. Those are the lenses. You know, it's difficult. I've come to realize that like normies and noobs, they want one lens that can do everything. Because why not, right? Why wouldn't you want a lens that does everything? But then you look at the lens that can do everything, and then you don't have the money for it because it's expensive or it doesn't exist. It's just the reality. It's just physics. You know, optics, lenses are incredibly expensive, dude. You guys want to see my dream lens? I'll show you my dream lens. I will own this lens one day. 300. I bet you guys can't guess what it is. It's a Canon RF lens. I'll show it to you right now. This bad boy right here. RF 100 to 300 millimeter f2.8L. $11,000, boys. 11,000. Sony 64 or Canon R50 as first camera. I would think the 6400 is nice. The R50 is great too. The 6400 has S-Log though, but the 64 has a screen that like flips up, which is kind of annoying. And the R50 has a tilt out screen. So should I get an A7R5 with an 800 G master lens or a 7200 G master lens with a Zeiss 800? I'd probably get the A7R5 with a... I would choose the 70 or 200, but if you want to do aviation, get the 800 millimeter G master. How much is the 800 millimeter G master? It's probably crazy, right? 800 millimeter GM. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, that's not it. Oh, you want to get this lens, bro? 18,000? 19,000, broski? Always watching YouTube. Awesome. What's up, bro? When do you guess the FX3 II will be out? I think it'll come out this year. Sony 67 or Sony ZV-E1 first camera. I mostly do vids in semi-dark studio. I'd probably do the ZV-E1, the full frame. That's a really nice sensor. I think it's a 12 megapixel sensor, but it's the same one as the FX3. Oh, this is the Canon RF one. My bad. I can't find an 800 millimeter. There's a 400 to 800 millimeter. Yo, brother. Brother. What is the best light? Do you know any good settings for my GoPro 12? Bought it to take pictures. I wouldn't use an action camera to take pictures. I don't. SRT Fuge. Is that Sergeant Fuge? Michael just bought a RS4 Pro combo for $750 with purchase. Nice, dude. What is the best light brand set up for documentaries, interviews? Probably Amaran or Aperture. That's what everybody that it's like a professional filmmaker gets. I have cheaper ones that are from Zhiyun. Brother, hey, did you see that, Julia? Julia, check out my YouTube. I added a combined chat, so now I'm like a real streamer. I'm like a real boy. Street racing technology. Street racing technology? What does that mean? I want a 400 to 800 with extension tubes. I want a big lens. Get a big lens, man, if that's what you want. 400 to 800. This guy right here. Yeah, this is a G lens, not a G Master. Yeah, G lenses are different from GM. Should I sell my FX3 or just hold it and make it a B cam with a new one? I would hold it. I would for sure hold it. Right now is probably the most it'll be worth though, because when the FX3 2 comes out, you know, it'll drop in price, you know. Matt, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Thanks for asking. It's 23.99 euros in Europe. Yeah. There's currency exchanges and shit like that. You asked SRT meant Sergeant. Oh, SRT, got it. Like the Hellcat or the Dodges and stuff. SRT, got it. Thank you for clarifying, SRT Sarge. SRT Fuge, excuse me. What's your opinion on being in the Panasonic system? The Lumixes are cool, dude. Then do I get the Sigma 12 lens? They make those. Yeah, it sounds like you wanna take a picture of the moon. If you want that super far reach though, I would definitely get the A7R5 though, without a doubt. Without a doubt. DRD, hello. What camera would you recommend for $200? Ooh. I don't know, man. I don't have recommendations for cameras under like $500, unfortunately. DRD. Only because I kind of think they're a waste of money, man. Sony A5000 series, maybe? How much are those? Even those aren't $200, dude. A Sony A5000, look at this. $300. And these are just so old at this point. It's like, ugh. Yeah, you might be better off with just using your cell phone or a point and shoot. Hopefully open gate for Sony soon. What, Manuel, what would you use open gate for, bro? I have an S5 2X and have a bunch of lenses for it. Now wondering if I stay in the system. I would stay in the system, bro, unless you're not happy with it. Also, speaking of the A7R5, ooh, I like that you can see the comp. Yeah, Julia. So I set it up in different ways so that people can like see it, because people behave differently. Like I was saying, the YouTube crowd. I'm trying to get you guys more involved in the chat, so that's why I put this chat so you guys can see that TikTok is popping with conversation. 16 people over on TikTok, 17 people, 9 people on YouTube. Hold on. Oh, wait, wrong one. Hold on. This one. Wow. So I'm trying to get people to see that it's okay to ask questions, and that way you guys can see. I would put this over on TikTok, but I think TikTok will get mad at me for doing a combined chat. What point and shoot would you recommend for 200? I don't even know, bro. For real. I wouldn't waste my money on a $200 camera. I would save up an extra $5 and get to $700. Truthfully. Self filming, hate going back and forth to do vertical shot, horizontal, maybe cool to crop. Yeah, so I have 2 cameras that do open gate. I have a C50, this guy, and the R6 Mark III that shoots open gate. And they're really cool cameras. You just got to know what to... Yo, this camera angle is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of neat. Yeah, this is the C50. And I have the R6 Mark III that does open gate as well. And the open gate is cool. It's 7K though. So like it's really, really like you need to have the processing power to really be able to work with it. That's something that I think people forget, and it only shoots in open gate at 30 FPS. Michael P. Libby, what up, buddy? Hey man, watching from Suriname. I think I remember you, bro. Working on pictures again. Had 2 gigs yesterday. Shot a lot of hot. Nice, bro. What were the gigs? Me watching everyone talking about lenses, and I'm here struggling between a 64 and a 67. Bro, a man on TikTok, don't worry about that, man. The 67 is a nice camera, dude. We all got to start somewhere, man. Your quality is insane, bro. Thank you, broski. Thank you. Appreciate that. Is buying EF lenses brand new using an RF camera bad idea? Nope, not at all. The only time I see people struggling with using EF glass is when they use third-party converters. So what you need to do is be buying RF to EF. What you need to do instead, you need to buy actually Canon branded stuff. And these are the ones that I see that when people do this, they have less problems, less connectivity issues. Where I see people having issues is when they go and buy off-brand EF to R adapters like this one. They're significantly cheaper, but this is when you run into some issues when you start buying the off-branded ones. Which makes sense. Rich, what up, Rich? I have all G Master lenses now, so sadly kind of locked in, trusting new gens will be all caught up. Okay. First was women's picnic, and the second was a birthday party. Nice, dude. Birthday parties I usually do for about $100 an hour. I usually get booked for like 3-4 hours, which is nice, you know. Nice easy party, or nice easy gig. For those of you guys that are joining over in YouTube, all we're doing here is just talking about cameras. So if you have an interest or some camera questions that you may have, let me know. I'll try my best to answer it for you. And we'll also go through and look at some prices, and I'll give you my opinions on any cameras that you may be interested in. Is the Sony a7 III a good camera for sports? The a7 III is a little bit older, but it's fine. Would attaching a variable ND filter automatically reduce the light entering the lens? Yes. Komodo X with Z mount with Sony lens adapter. You think it's worth it? I don't know, man. I don't know. What are you trying to do, Manuel? Is that Manuel Lobos or Manuel Obos? Is the A7R5 sensor good to be paired? Yep. Yeah, 100%. So in Suriname, prices are lower than US because of financial differences of what... Well, yeah, of course. Of course. Is the 67 okay for hybrid work? It is. Is the R50 a good camera to get? It is. R50 is nice, dude. I'm using the R50 right now, actually. This camera right here is the R50 with a 16 millimeter. And this camera over here is the Canon R10. I need to get a haircut. My hair's starting to look like a helmet. I'm digging the music over here. It's vibey, right? Manuel Lobos. Got it. I've never used Red Raw. Manuel Lobos. I don't do a lot of color grading. When I do color grading, mine is like very, very simple. Wouldn't there be limitation to the R50 due to the lack of a mechanical shutter? I mean, if you're shooting like a lot of sports and stuff, but not really, man. You got to understand that, you know, cameras, they might seem expensive, like $700 might seem expensive to you, to anybody, because it is a lot of money, but we also have to understand that there's limitations and compromises when you buy entry-level cameras, and that's okay. Entry-level cameras are designed to be for beginners and newbies, you know, people that are just getting started. You know, cameras that are good at everything exist, but they're like $4,000, $3,000, $6,000. Like if you guys look at the A1, like this camera right here, this is the top tier Canon R1 sports camera, right? A mechanical global shutter, 7K. And because this camera exists, they're not going to put all of the tech, or they won't be able to fit it into a $600 camera. What do you mainly shoot? I work full-time as a content creator for a firm, so most of my job is like recording interviews and stuff like that for their business. And then for freelance stuff, I do some creative projects. Also, I do social media marketing for businesses, so I create their content for their reels. If you guys are interested in any of the work that I do, you can check out my Instagram and my TikTok. I do mostly like small brands, like TikTok shop videos and stuff like that. What do you mainly shoot? Like a haircut or a haircut? A haircut. Bro, what is the best $900 camera? I would say probably, what's the 6400? The 6400 is $1,000, right? 6400. I would be looking at some used cameras. Here, you can get a used one for $900. This is nice. How long have you been doing it for? About 6 years. 6 years I've been a content creator. Excuse me. Matt is asking Nikon ZR versus Z8. Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to do photos or do you want to do video? If you want to do video, go for the ZR. Do you recommend the ZVE10 for beginner? The ZVE10 2. I wouldn't waste my money on the ZVE10 1. What camera should I buy? I have a Rebel T6 and looks around 600, 800. Probably the R50, bro. Both. On eBay, you look very well. You've seen some 67s go for 900. Yeah, Fabian, I don't recommend people shop on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Is that even a thing still? I tell people to go to B&H, KEH, or Adorama. Is the FX3 good for photos? I don't think so. What is the difference between the ZVE10 and the ZVE10 2? There's a lot of differences. It shoots 10-bit video. It has the bigger battery. It has more advanced autofocus. They made a lot of improvements to it. Is shooting on an APS-C unwise? If so, should I jump to full frame? No, not really. Is the FX3 good for photos? I wouldn't use an FX3 for photos. Best place to sell equipment from Nikon to Sony. I would check your local shop to see if they buy anything. If not, I would just go to MPB and see what they'll give you. If you're in the United States. What would you recommend a camera and a lens in beginning photography? The R50. Is the Sony a7 III a good camera for sports? I think I answered that already, Liam. I think I did. It's good. It's a little bit older by now, yeah. A little bit older. Any lens recommendations for the 67 Sigma 18 to 50? Doesn't zoom enough for me. Tamron, check out the 70 to 180 M1 Met. Going from an A7 IV as a hybrid shooter, what should be my next purchase? What do you want to do? Mondo in the cuts. Is the Sigma 30 1.4 art DCM a good lens? It is. It's an art lens. Anything that says art on a Sigma line is a good lens. G Master, same with L. What would you recommend me as secondary camera? Depends on what you're using it for, Bob Ost. What about an A7 IV for photos? What about it? A7 IV is nice, dude. I'm using it for plane photography. I would get the same camera. I would get the same camera twice. Or the one that is like, you know, that has the same sensor. FX3 plus the A7R5, you think I'm pretty well covered? Fuck, you're right. Yeah, dude, absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%, broski. Do you recommend the Sony 55 f5.4 or Tamron 7300 for budget telephoto lens? Is the 70 to 300 a constant aperture? That sounds like a variable aperture lens. What camera? An A7 IV or an A7 IV or a Canon? Aren't you getting an A7R5? I would stick with Sony, man. Are there any tips you can share in composition for scenic photography? The basic composition tools, the rule of thirds. You know, there's not really a lot of what's it called? Rule of third composition, photo compositions. Yeah, photo composition rules. All this stuff is super duper important. The rule of thirds, the golden spiral or the golden ratio. S curve I've never really used. I've used a lot of L. Yep, all these things. These are all pretty basic though. I do like the golden ratio. The golden ratio is always a favorite of mine. I also keep on my cameras, you guys. Let's see if you can see this. Let's see. Is it this one? No, this one. If you guys look at my cameras, I always keep... Oh, this one doesn't have a battery, does it? No, I don't have a battery here. Let me get a battery. I always keep my composition on my camera screen. So if you turn on any of my cameras, let's see, yeah, right here, I always keep my the grids on my cameras, regardless of the camera that I'm using, or regardless of what I'm doing. So that's one trick that I always do. Like literally, if you turn on any of my cameras, I don't have any battery. This one's dead. Let's see, do I have it over here as well? But I always keep my grids and all my compositional kind of things on here. If this one wasn't dead, I'd show you that too. Let me get a battery for it. Oh, this one's harder to see, but you guys see all those grid lines? So I always have like my diagonals. Oh, hold on, let's see. There's probably easier to see if it's a white paper. Yeah, so for example, on these cameras, I always have my diagonals, all of my stuff. Do you think I should think about other models? Except the 64, I'm going to use it for starting photography? Nah, the 67's great, man. How long does the small rig 99 battery last? All day. I've never actually tested it, but it's always lasted all day. What lens is on the white camera? That's a Sirui lens. I'll show you. I have the Sirui lenses right here. All of these links, you guys, they can be found in my link in bio in TikTok, and then it's the first couple of links in my description on YouTube if you guys are interested. I bought this entire kit from Sirui. Totally worth it, dude. Why have you decided to go into the Canon lines instead of other brands such as Sony and Nikon? Because Canon's the best. Canon is number one. Yeah, Canon is number one. Sony on top. Sony is not on the top, bro. Sony's number two. Canon is number one. Thoughts about K&F tripods? All of my tripods are actually from K&F Concept. Do I have my tripods on here? I think I do. Let's see. Yeah, these are the tripods that I own. And I also have a bunch of small rig ones. Actually, let me add those. I have a bunch of small rig ones. Your orders. I've ordered so many. I bought this one. I bought two of those. I bought one of these. I have this one. I have this one. These are all ball heads. I had a couple of these. I own all of these as well. I own a couple of these and this one. Done. What's number 3? Thoughts about, so using mostly mirrorless now, do you tend to use viewfinders less in, no, hell no, I use my viewfinders in photography all the time. I actually have cameras that don't have viewfinders that I don't use for photos because they don't have viewfinders. Should I get a cage even if I'm doing mainly photography? I have a cage on every single one of my cameras. Every single one of my cameras has a cage. I think they add a lot of weight. I don't buy it for like protection or anything. I use it just because it gives me more mounting positions. And I'm a content creator, so like I'm always mounting my camera to things. So I put a cage on everything. On everything. I want to put this up here. What do I have this tagged as? Lens filters and accessories. Let's go up here. Add a couple of these. And then add some tripods up at the top. Mix these up a little. Cool. 1DX Mark III or R6? Ooh, 1DX Mark II. That's a good one. I'd have to take a look at that. 1DX or... If it was the R6 Mark II, I'd say the R6. But what are you doing, Senny Colvey? What are you doing with your cameras? So using mostly mirrorless. I answered that one. Do I get an RE for video and an A7 RV for photos? I don't know, Bobist. Do you have either of those cameras? Have you ever shot with an RE? And what RE are you talking about? What EF wide lens do you recommend? Something around 11 millimeters. EF? What full frame? Oh, they have that one, Lao, I think it's called. The f2.8 one. I forget the, yeah, here it is. This guy. This one's supposed to be really good. Ooh, they used to have it for Canon RF mount? Or they do have it. That's kind of crazy. Ari Amira. Let's Google that. This one? You want to spend 35 grand to take videos of planes? If this isn't your budget, dude. Bobist, I think you're just saying shit, bro. I think you're just window shopping, man. You've said some pretty ridiculous shit throughout this fucking chat. You want to get an Ari to film planes? For a tripod, should I get a regular head or a ball head? Cass, what do you use it? What are you doing with it, bro? What is a tripod going to be used for? Mainly like photo or video. What do you think of the Canon G7 Mark III for a point and shoot camera? I do not like the G7 Mark III. The G7X. I like the PowerShot V1. Power Shot V1. I'd rather get this. This one just came out. Yeah, I'd rather get this. Photography. Then I would get a ball head for photography. Canon R5 II or a Z8 as a secondary camera. What's your, Christina, what's your primary camera? The R5 II as a secondary camera is wild. Z9. If you already have a Nikon, Christina, I would probably just stick with the Nikon family. It's much easier just to stay in the same family, unless you want to do a full switch, because your lenses are all interchangeable, the menus are all the same. Unless you really want to like dip your toes into the Canon world, you know what I mean? Is it a bad idea to use a micro? I wouldn't. Yeah, I would use a actual proper SD card. Your SD cards, most SD cards, your guys' SD cards nowadays should all be at least V60 cards. At least. Lexar V60. Beyond the Cosmic, hello, hello, how are you? These are the cards that I use, you guys. The V60 cards. Purchase. Wow, these prices are crazy, dude. I've purchased these 3 times. Look at this. $900, boys. Man, how are the ARRI Alexa Classics? Yeah, I don't know, man. If you have you ever used an ARRI? ARRIs are not, you know, those are professional cameras, like production grade cameras. What camera do you currently have? You should get it, though. You should get it then. What's stopping you? Can Canon R50 do flash photography? It has a built-in flash already. I forget if it has the digital pins. I'd have to look at the camera. Well, actually, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. This one does not have the digital pins. It's missing the digital pin, so you have to get a actual Canon flash, or you have to get the Canon adapter. But this camera already has a built-in flash. It's a little rinky-dinky flash. A little rinky-dinky flash. Opinions on the DJI Ronin 4D. Christina, I think the 4D is cool. I think it's for a very specific use case, though. What are you trying to do with it? What ND filter should I get? I get KNF Concept and Polar Pro. These are the filters that I get. Polar Pro filters, K&F Concept filters. Yeah, so these are the only filters that I ever buy. K&F Concept and Polar Pro. You guys can find this link if you're on TikTok in my profile page or my link in bio. And if you're on YouTube, you can find it in my the first link in the description. So what camera? Carson Systems. Did you ask me a question already? 6700 worth it for sports photos, videos paired with a 17. Yep. Dark, that's a good one. Thumbs up, buddy. For the webcam? Oh, for the webcam that I'm using right now. Oops, wrong one. This is a Canon R10 with a 23 millimeter. This is a Canon R50 with a 16 millimeter. What flash? So you were asking about the Canon, right? So the Canon R50 comes with a built-in flash, but if you want, I think it's called the A Canon flash attachment. This guy. You need this. If you buy this, then you can use any flash. If you don't buy this, you have to buy a special Canon flash that has these little contact pins. Because this camera doesn't have contact pins. So you have two options. Either you buy this little thing, this thing right here, which gives you contact pins, and then you can use any flash, like a flash you already own, or you don't buy this and then you buy a special Canon flash. Like the idea of stabilization, but I don't see a lot of videographers using it. Yeah, because it's a special kind of camera that when I see people use it, this is how I've seen people use the Ronin 4D. Have you ever seen in the United States when sports teams run out of a tunnel? When you're watching those like camera angles, I often see people holding the chicken, holding it like this and running besides the athletes, and then you get to see that that really cool cool angle. I've only ever seen it like that, or in shots where people are running through like a forest. And somebody's running besides them, they're holding it. Those are the kind of shots that I really see that DJI 4D. So it's a very niche use case. That's a badass looking camera though. Look at this fucking thing. 10 grand. Probably the lens selection is an issue too, you know? Anna Polito, what are your thoughts on the Canon R100 senior pictures and family pictures? I don't like the R100. I don't like the R100 at all. I think it's better just to save up and get the R50. If you save up and get the R50, Anna, it's going to be a million times better, and you're just going to have a better time. That Canon R100 is a joke camera, and it's too expensive. YouTube, where's YouTube at? 6 viewers. 6 viewers over on YouTube. A little bit slow today. That's okay. Lenses for the R50V. Sigma lenses. The Sigma lenses right here. Did my first motorsport shoot with the 67. Definitely gonna upgrade to the A7 for better low light. I'm telling you, man, you know, people say, oh, this one's better, the crop sensor's this, but then when you actually get out, that's the problem, Dan Anon Tech, like, until you actually get out there with these cameras and, like, you actually hold them in your hands, it's really tough to have an opinion on shit, like, yeah, full frame is always going to be better, you know, can you get by with using a crop sensor? Surely, but, you know. Is it true that RF camera batteries do not last that long? No batteries really last that long. The internal batteries are just limited by their size. Is $300 for 4 videos good? What are the videos? Seen people remove the sensor and keep the main body on a backpack. Seems versatile. But I think you're right, more for a niche. Yeah, Christina, the only people that I see with that camera, though, is production houses that get hired to do a lot of different jobs because it's a very niche camera for a very specific type of shot. If I owned one, it's a pain in the ass to transport. It's a pain in the ass to carry. You know what I mean? It doesn't pack down really well. You can't put it in a backpack. So the only people that I see really using it or that own it are production houses. And they keep it like in the corner of a room that when they get hired for a specific job, they pull it out. Or a lot of people rent it for like one shot, you know? Daytime was golden and great, but once the sunset went down, what lens were you using, Don Annan? Because another thing is, like with the crop sensor, that's why I always tell people crop sensor cameras, you gotta have an f2.8 or lower. Just 30 to 60 second clips of car detailing, 4 videos, this tractor dealership. Yeah, I would do 300 for 4 videos for sure. For sure. Next time, charge 500. Next time, charge 500 and include some photos. Tamron 70 to 180 f2.8. Yeah, so even with the 70 to 180, bro, you saw the limitations of the low light. Yeah, it'll happen, man. It'll happen. But also, Don, like, you know, what you went through, you experienced something, right? You experienced like your camera and its limitations, and you were like, oh, all right. So now you've registered that like in the back of your mind that when you go out to another shoot, you'll be like, oh shit, okay, this isn't going to be good here. Maybe if I change positions and I shoot in the other direction, facing the other way, or you bring your own lights. These are the kind of things that you make a mental note of for every job that you go on, so that the next time you have an opportunity to do something like that, you're better prepared. Or you know, it's like, hey, these shots are all going to be useless, you know. Hey, comment from YouTube. I purchased a Q3 for everyday work, and it's surprisingly versatile. Leica Q3? Yeah, man. Leica Q3s are nice, dude. I want to try headshots for them, but what lens with the ZVE10? I would probably do this lens right here. I would do either the 30 millimeter, this guy right here, $400, or I would do the 56 millimeter, or this one. The 30 would be really nice. The 56 is going to be like super punched in. Yeah, guys. Listen, I'm gonna say this like as often as I can. For anybody that owns a crop sensor camera, these Sigma lenses are peak, bro. They are really, really, really good, dude. Do I get an R10 for filming instead of the 8K body only for Ari? I'm not sure, Bobist. I'm not sure, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're all over the place. You're all over the place. It doesn't sound like you have a budget though. So like you want to buy like a $20,000 camera, and then you want to buy a $1,000 camera. Definitely. Lightroom denoise help me. Just having little to no grain would be perfect. Yeah, denoise is only going to get you so far, man. And denoise photos are like, they break apart really fast. Should I just rent the 17-40 and use it at 30 millimeters? You can. You can. These are 1.4s though. You don't have to use it at like at f1.8, you know. But yeah, you can rent the 17-40 if that's an option. You're not going to want to return it when you buy it, though. You're definitely not going to want to return it, man. I got the 16 millimeter f1.4. If you're, oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember. How do you like the 16, man? Exactly right, Don. Once you get past like 50, denoise though, I do use denoise a lot on photos that are actually pretty well lit, and like it just kind of brings up just a little bit of the shadows. I saw some improvements on clothing that I really liked. They were perfectly like well lit and everything, but I'm thinking about Sigma 56 for my R7, but also the EF Sigma 50mm is good when I move to full frame. Yeah, the Sigma is probably what? The Sigma 50 is an EF though, right? Sigma 28-45 f1.8, not bad for the ZVE10. Going to have a homeless man rent it for me, then keep it. 16 is very good, just need zoom at times. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, bro. The 17-40, man, I've talked about this camera, this lens for a long time, dude. That's this right here. Run denoise at 40% only. Yeah, I try not to run a lot of 40%, you know? Or run a lot of denoise, I should say. I'm too broke for a 17-40. You'll get there though, man. I mean, shit. If you got $300 for a couple videos, bro, I think you should probably be at $500 for your videos. And it's only a couple, 3-4 jobs, man. This lens is $1,000. You charge $500 for a couple jobs. Easy. I want to get a Sony a7 IV. How and where can I get a good deal for it? If you're in the United States, check out the used market. You know, see where you can do on used MPB, B&H, KEH. Adorama. Hello, my dad gave me his Canon 400D with his Tamron 5. Is this all right for planes? Yeah, use it. Have you tried it? Can you rate my shots on Facebook? I don't do free reviews, Juan. Using my RS4 Mini though, the 1740. Yeah, that's what it's made for. The 17-40 on the Mini is exactly what it's made for, bro. A7 IV, slightly overrated in my opinion. You think? I think it's expensive, Christina. I think it's expensive, dude. This is what I was saying the other day that people like got on my ass about. a little bit is like, if you look at the Sony A7 A7 V, and then you look at the oh, I think they lowered the price. No, they didn't. And then you look at the Canon R6 III. The Sony cameras are always more expensive. Always more expensive. And in my opinion, the R6 Mark III won this round, you know? The S1 II is sick, Jacob. Yeah, I completely agree. The value for the price. Yeah, and Sony always, man, I'm telling you, Sony always is nickel and diming its customers, man. Agree. Think about how you can acquire more money to buy the gear that you want. Yeah, exactly. Instead of thinking about the overall cost. Yeah, just get more gigs. Get more gigs, but, you know, your gigs, if you have a professional camera and you're doing great work, like, I don't leave my house, my home, with a camera for paid work for anything less than like $800. Do you suggest Alpha ZV-10? The ZV-10 II for content creators, yeah. Camera for beginners, R50. R50. 8 viewers over on YouTube. What up, YouTube? Everybody say hi to YouTube. Say hi to the YouTube world, you guys. Oh, shit. I keep fucking that up. They added pre-capture, blackout free shooting, tilt screen. Oh, the tilt screen is nice though. I am jealous of the tilty, flippy screen that they added. That is nice. They added a bunch of AI and stuff. Is the camera worth that much? Sure. It definitely is. It definitely is. I'm not gonna knock on Sony. They're worth it. They're nice. What do you think about Fujifilm X-T33? The X-T30 is nice, dude. I would do the X-T30. So the Canon R6 is better than the A7 IV? I would say so. Yeah, I would think so for sure. What zoom lens to pair with the R50? Ooh, the R50. I like this one. These lenses right here. I think this lens is great. The Sigma 18-50 f2.8. Legend Gaming USA, what up, bro? Brother. Which one is better? RX 100 photo? Probably the 64. R6 III, Nikon ZX 3, and A7 IV for sports photography. Which one is better? At that point, you're just choosing a brand, bro. They're all great. I like the A7 R5, but the readout is way too slow. It's a 60 megapixel camera, Don. 60 megapixels, bro. Hello, I know it's not a professional camera, but I've ordered the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Nice, dude. I gave that to a nephew of mine as a gift. Yeah, I talk about action cameras too, man. Action cameras are sick, man. Yeah, action cameras are sick. What lens to pair with the A7 V? Please recommend 2 if I can only get 2. What are you trying to do, Ild? I don't know how to say your name. Which camera would you recommend for outdoor photography? I like to do portraits and sunsets. The R6 III. Juan, I don't do free photo reviews or photo critiques, bro. I can do reviews, but I do them on a one-on-one basis, you can check out my links in bio if you're interested. But I don't do free reviews anymore. When is the FX3 Mark II coming out? I think it'll come out this year, Eddie. I think it'll come out this year. For those of you guys that are just joining on TikTok, welcome in. All that I do is try to answer as many questions as possible through the live chat. Let me know if you have any cameras in mind that you're thinking about buying. What's your opinion on DJI Pocket 3? I like the Pocket 3. Pocket 4 is coming out soon, though. I'm using an R8 now. I want to upgrade next month and still dizzy. The R8's nice, dude. I like the R8. Monos, you're a student pilot, record your POV, get an action camera. The 360 X5 is really nice. I would do... This is my favorite action camera, guys. Let's see. I think I have it here. My cameras. This one. This is my all-time most recommended. I remember I bought it as well. My all-time most recommended camera. The Insta360 X5. I gave this camera to a nephew as well. I wonder if they use it. Is Julia in here? I don't know if Julia's in here. Do you know when Sony does their biggest sales? I don't. Not off the top of my head. I have a Canon EOS 7. Cool. Viltrox 56mm or TT Artisan for the 64. Both are cheap Chinese brands, archives. What camera for beginner, handy or less on doing the settings? ZVE-10 II. I'd get the ZVE-10 II. Definitely not the G7X Mark III. What lens to pair with the A7 V? I'm trying to take professional photos and videos like Gox Art. I don't know who that is. 24-70. I need to buy a good variable ND filter for my cams. What do you recommend? I use KNF Concept. They are a good mixture of budget and quality, in my opinion. These guys right here. Also, if you guys are interested in any of the items that I have from my storefront, you can find the link in the bio right here. And it's the first couple of links in my YouTube description. Depending if you're on YouTube or on TikTok. Yeah, when I'm looking for here's a pro tip, guys. Actually, I might be able to clip this. Should I make a clip? Let me see. Let's do a clip. Oh, maybe I'll do this one. Maybe I'll do a clip later. Let's see. Here we got this one. All right, let's do a clip. ND filters and filters alike all come in different millimeter thread sizes depending on the size of the filter thread on the front of your lens. A pro tip here though is if you are going to buy a filter set for your lenses, consider getting the largest filter that you can, either 82 or 95. 82 is a little bit more common, but what you want to do is get what are called step-up rings. When you buy a step-up ring, these are, as you can see here, $27. When you buy these, you can adapt that 82 millimeter filter thread to any of your lenses if you have a bunch of different lenses with different filter threads. So what you want to do is buy what are called step-up rings and step-down rings. Super cheap, $30 here. And then you can save your money and actually buy quality filters, ND filters or creative filters for your cameras, all one size. And pause. All right, let's send that over and then I'll do a quick edit on it. Edit out the stumble. And send to phone. I have my OBS set up here so that I can make recordings on the fly. And then I can just send it to my... There it is. Boom. And then if you guys look, I just got a message from my computer that the file got sent over. There it is. Just like that. ND filters and filters alike all come in different millimeter thread. Technology's cool, guys. Technology's fucking cool. What lens do you recommend for the R6 III for outdoor photography like portraits and sunsets? The Nifty 50, the 35 is nice. I would definitely get a prime lens for sure. Any recipe recommendations for the Fujifilm X-T50? Just use the ones that are built in. What's the one that I use a lot? Real Ace. I use that one a lot. What do you think about the Canon R50 for a beginner? Canon R50 is fantabulous. Fantastic. Yeah, that's a fact, dude. If you're getting a camera within the past 5 years, all cameras are really, really good, dude. If you stick within the past 5 years for any camera brand, you're gonna have a good time, man. I'm telling you. You're gonna have a good time. FX30 or A7 IV? Depends, Hunter Bads. What are you doing? What are you doing with your camera, bro? Lumix G100D for beginner photography. I've never even seen that. What is that? Lumix G100D. Control copy. Let's take a look at it. Mm. 23 megapixels, 5-axis hybrid image. What is hybrid? What does that mean? 4K 30. Pre-installed Vlog L. I wonder what that is. It looks pretty good. It looks like a little baby cam. Oh, it's a micro four thirds. Look at this. Look at that tiny little sensor. Yeah, that's a little sensor. If this is a normal mount, then I would probably think it's okay. I think you can find a better camera than this for this price, though. Truthfully. Videography mostly, then you should get the FX30, dude. Hybrid equals photo and video. Yeah, but when it says 5-axis hybrid image stabilization, what do you guys think the hybrid in the image stabilization means? Like, what does that mean? To me, I would consider that as like hybrid digital stabilization and hybrid mechanical stabilization. So it does a little bit of both. Fujifilm X-T33 or Sony 6400 as a beginner? Probably the 6400. No, the X-T33 is nice. I would do the X-T30. Talk about the Sony A7 III. Sony A7 III is nice, dude. It's a little bit older. If that's what you want, that's what you can afford, do it. It's just a marketing term? I don't think so, man. I think it would mean something. I think it would actually mean something in this case. It can't mean nothing. Any recommendations for beginner-friendly cameras for real estate photography, like a Lumix G7? For real estate, I'd be really focused on the lenses that are available. Because for real estate, you really need a wide lens. So as long as the camera has like a wide lens, this camera looks cool. Oh, it's discontinued. It's expensive. That's another little baby baby sensor. What is this? Micro Four Thirds? This is expensive. I'd get something with like a crop sensor. I had a 6500 as a beginner. Was awful. I'd prefer the Lumix S5. Yeah, man. Whenever you're dealing with budget cameras, dude, it's like, ah, damn. That's why I really try my best, you guys, to like steer you away from cameras that are just like a waste of time and a waste of money. Because I already know, I've been there. I know what's going to happen. That's why I tell people, like, unless you have like $700 to $1,000, just use your cell phone until you really figure out what you're talking about, you know? Or like what you're going to be shooting at least. I say that to people all the time. All of the time. Osmo Pocket 3 would be great in real estate, to be honest. You don't need a huge detail. I like a bigger sensor. I like a bigger sensor for those low lights and stuff, you know? Ricoh GR3. Hell yeah, dude. Do they have the GR4 out yet? Thank you so much for sure, bro. Hellstrom Photography. Sigma 17-40 f1.8. Canon RF good for boxing events. I'm on a Canon R50. I'm novice. Are you ringside? Hellstrom Photography. If you're ringside, that's a nice combo. Video lights for coffee shop shoots. So this is the kit that I take. I'll show you guys. When I do videography, I was working on a coffee shop actually. I think on my Instagram I have some coffee shop videos. Do I? I made a couple for a brand. I charged them $500 for a couple of hours. Let me see. Where's my Instagram? Profile. I think I did do some coffee videos. I might have posted them. Yeah, here we go. It was like a slow motion, like a coffee pour video. I don't think I branded this yet, or branded this at this time. This was just a sample video that I made for him. I don't think I had anything else from that shoot. No, that was pretty much it. But yeah, a lot of these photos and a lot of this is all like paid work that I did. A lot of freelancing stuff. This brand right here, they paid me, I think, like $1,200 for like 30 photos. Yeah, man, I've done a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs, created a lot of content. I worked with this brand for a really long time. Yeah, I've done a lot of shit, man. You guys can find all my links in my link in bio if you guys are interested in checking out more of my stuff. Oh, lights. I was talking about lights. That's right. Here we go. These are the lights that I use for like traveling, like as a one-man band. It's these Zhiyun lights. It's actually what I'm using in this setup right here. I'm using Zhiyun lights. That's one that's up there. I got one right here. I like these lights because they're small. They're compact, but the key for me was that they can be powered via USB-C. You need a 100-watt charger to power them, but you can use a USB-C to charge them, and they're little. So I prefer, for my kit, I need it to be broken down very, very small. And that light that you're looking at right here, actually you can't see, this light right here is that light up there, the G60. And then I have another light in here, this one. This is the light that's lighting me right here. I have the RGB version though. This one. Totally worth it. I do all mine for free as I'm learning still. You need to start charging. I used Lumix FX for 3 years, wedding shots and stuff. Made me around 200K with a $300 cam. Nice, dude. Good for you. I've been using a Sigma 50mm lens, f1.8, but it was close at times when at ringside. Yeah, it's a little punched in on a crop sensor for sure. The 17-40, if you're ringside, is a nice lens, dude. I want to capture the whole body, not just above the waist, so I'll make the investment and start bill. Yeah, I think so. I think the 17-40 is the way to go, dude. Do you have another lens other than that 50mm? I'm trying to think, like at ringside. 17, you're still a little punched in though. Did you try shooting a 16mm? Do you have a 16mm? What's your go on new student filmmakers taking over professional markets with YouTube learning? What's your go? No opinion. I say thumbs up. YouTube is crazy, man. YouTube is great. My YouTube channel actually helped me get my job that I currently have as a full-time content creator. Yeah, this little rinky-dinky channel. By the way, I'm trying to get to 4K by the end of March, you guys. I'm really close. Really, really close. For those of you guys that are hanging out in YouTube, hello, YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I was watching Rush Hour this past weekend. 16mm captures the whole ring but doesn't focus on the fighter's face. Yeah, so there you go. So now that's good right there, because you have proof that the 16, imagine the 17mm captures what you need, and then imagine punching into 40 to capture the person's face whenever you want to, right? So that's why I was asking you, Hellstrom Photography. That's why I was asking you if you've tried the 16. So the 17-40 sounds like the lens that you need to swing for, bro. 6100. Michael P. Libby, hey, now that's the type of work you want to, yeah, $1,200 for 30 pics. Yeah, that's in the U.S. though, man. And actually, that brand was in out of China, but they were marketing to the United States. But throughout my Instagram profile, you'll see a lot of samples of some of my work that I've worked with brands and stuff. But my stuff isn't really organized too well. I just kind of post all my work. This was another brand that I worked with for a long time. This video right here, this whole campaign, I charged $5,000 for. But this was a big production. So that was $5,000 for that project. Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff, man. A lot of things that I'm proud of over the years, for sure. It adds up. It adds up, you know. Your work is awesome, by the way, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So. YouTube is still kicking, right? Excellent. Yep. Stream settings. Analytics. There's also an 18-50 Sigma, but worried the FT is so it'd be twice. Yeah, I have that lens right here. I'm using it for this shot right here. This lens is the 18-50. This is 18 and this is 50. I have it set to f2.8. The price difference between these two, though, bro, is, let's see. The price difference is like where I'm like, because when we end up cutting corners, man, we always end up regretting it. Like this one, the 17-40 is 1,900, and then the 18-50 is, we'll say it's 700, right? So like, that's one thing, is when you go for the cheaper option, how big is that price gap? I bought this lens 2 years ago. Look at this. Wow. It's like 50% less. I'm in UK. Ah, yeah. Gotta remember the conversion, dude. Gotta remember the conversion. Yeah, but looking at those, I think it's worth it, man. I think it's worth it. The f1.8 art lens, that's my everyday carry, man. Yeah, that is my everyday carry. I learned shot framing in GTA Rockstar Editor. When I tell people to think I'm crazy, that's pretty cool, man. Thanks for the advice. I'll invest. I think it's worth it, man. I think that's the lens that you're gonna buy, and you're gonna have it for like 10 years. You know what I mean? It's an art lens, bro. It's an art lens. The question that I've been wrestling with for a while is a full frame worth the upgrade? Yes, it is. My primary lens is a Sigma EF 31.4, but it's a crop sensor lens. Well, what do you want to shoot, man? Chase, what are you thinking about shooting? If your question is a full frame better than a crop sensor, and if it's worth it, The answer is yes. Will you be okay having a crop sensor for the rest of your life? Yes. Also yes. You know what I mean? I want to invest in a few lenses. I'm preparing to for a short film for a film festival shooting in Pakistan. That sounds cool. Trying to decide between the R8 or the R10. I would get the R8. The R8 is really nice. Family portraits and yeah, definitely the R8. The R8, bro. I have an R8. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. Yeah, the R8 is really nice. The R8 is a full frame sensor. Full frame sensor. I think mine's a little disty. Got a speck of dust in it. I think the R8 Mark II should be coming out soon as well. So you do have to consider that. At least I hope that the R8 Mark II, the R8 gets a refresh. I don't know what they could add to it. The sensor is really nice. I doubt that they'll put the new sensor in it, but who knows, they might. What would you lens recommendation be to pair with the R8? My initial thoughts would be the 28 to 70 f2.8, but if you have another, do you like prime lenses, Chase? If you like prime lenses, you should get a couple the cheaper primes. Cheap primes are really nice. You wanted to do portraits, right? Yeah, dude, get a prime lens, man. I own all of these lenses right here, and like some of my favorite lenses are some of the cheaper ones. Like this one right here, this 35mm on the R8. Oh, bro, you know what just came out? I bought it the other day, the 45mm. I bought it from a shop, though. I need to add that, actually. You just reminded me. RF. I'm going to show it to you here in 1 second. RF 45mm. Here it is. Add this, because this lens was great, dude. Yeah, but these lenses right here, these are really nice, man. Where do I have it? Yeah, check out this lens, dude. The 45mm f1.2. Look at this bad boy. This is a really, really killer lens, dude. It's super cheap, too. But, like, if you're on a budget, and actually I bought it for my R8. If you're on a budget and you want to do portraits, this 45 f1.2 is fucking unstoppable, dude. Just an incredible lens. I think it's like $500 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, new release. Just came out. This is my R100, guys. The worst camera Canon has ever made. Yeah, so my recommendation, if you want to do portraits and lifestyle photos, dude, this 45mm is really nice, dude. Hola, ¿crees que en algún día ya llegue a la R50B una actualización como la que llegó? ¿Qué es lo que te falta a la R50B? Canon lenses are expensive. Never had the guts to move to Canons. They're worth it though, bro. What are your thoughts on the 45 1.2? My thoughts are that the 45 is the new 50. The 45 f1.2 is really incredible, dude. Really incredible. Shots by Hunter, back again. Can you help me with Samsung SSDs? What's your question, bro? Through the viewfinder. I'm not sure why your comments aren't popping up on my thing. What lens do you recommend for music, small venue photography, and videography with the R50V? Small venue, probably a 10 to 18. Probably this lens right here. 10 to 18 f2.8. That's what I would say. Yeah, that's definitely what I would say for sure. But yeah, this lens, guys, this lens and this camera combo, I need to make a YouTube video about it, actually, now that I remember. I have so many video ideas, guys, I just don't have the, I have so many other things going on. I'm really happy, really excited for my multi-streaming now. Streaming to TikTok and streaming to, multi-streaming, streaming to YouTube as well. Really cool. And now that I got the chat, nobody's answered me. Chase, maybe you can answer. Is it helpful to have the chat combined? I would guess so, right? I just need an SSD. What brand do you use? I use Samsung. Samsung SSDs. Whenever I'm doing, I have one right in front of me right here, look. I guess you can't see it. Can you see it? I don't think so. It's on the corner right here. It's attached to my laptop. But I have... Actually, I can show you. I have like 3 of them. Bro, did you see the price on the 4 terabyte recently? These are all Samsung right here. And then these are other brands, but these are HDDs. T7 Shield, yeah. Did you see the price on them recently, man? They are scary expensive, dude. Look at this, dude. Whew, I bought mine I bought mine way before. $700, bro. Truthfully, man, I'm fortunate that I have enough storage on my PC and M.2 drives that I don't use these very often. I'm glad that I have them forever, but I bought a NAS system. I bought a, yes, very necessary for sure for most people. But I planned a long time ago, green NAS. I bought one of these. I bought the 6-bay. This one. I bought this and now I don't have to worry about storage for the rest of my life. I think having them combined works really well, and being able to see the comments from all platforms make it easier to follow. Yeah, exactly right, Chase. Exactly right, bro. It took me a little bit of... I felt like a fucking genius earlier because I coded. I used code to make it transparent and make the edges round and make the text go up and shit like that. Anytime that I use CSS, I always feel like a computer genius. Even though I just use the AI to help me with the code, but doing it always makes me feel super smart. Through the viewfinder. I wonder why your chats aren't showing up, bro. What about primes? What about primes? For the R50V? Oh, bro, same thing, man. Same thing, man. You got to check out. Have you seen through the viewfinder? Your chats aren't coming up, bro, for some reason. I'm not lying. Look, this is the combined chat. And through the viewfinder just isn't coming through for whatever reason. Yeah, prime lenses, dude. The Sigma primes are all fire, bro. Every single one of them. The 23 is the one that you're watching me through right now. I'm actually using, right here is the 23 prime, and right here is the 16 millimeter prime. Very, very good lenses, dude. Nice. Now share the code so I don't have to do it. This is Andrew. Hey, buddy, how are you? Good to see you, bro. I fixed it, man. Good to see you back. The code was super easy. I mean, I'm sure that you being a computer genius, you could figure it out. Andrew B. Hey, who's that cool guy? Andrew in the other chat. Hilarious. Hilarious. Casper Lynn, should I buy a Canon R7 or a 1DX Mark II? Ooh, I'd probably get a R7. Yeah, I'd probably get the R7. Oh, Andrew, I added another camera angle too, broski. Check this out. Look at this. Huh? What do you think? There's a bunch of cameras in my way right now, but I added a second. This is I can control this camera with buttons on my. I was verifying my chats show up in both. Yeah, I think they show up in both. There are some chats on TikTok that aren't popping through though for whatever reason. The white one is a ZVE10. Yeah, this is a ZVE10 too. I'm testing out the angle, and I was saying the other day, you guys really get to see how the sausage is made, because I'm just starting to figure out my lives and figure out all the cameras and all the buttons. You know, and all the shit and everything, what everything does. So I'm also thinking about adding another webcam just for shits and giggles in the back corner underneath that light over there, just so that you guys can follow along. Or can see the chat or whatever. But this one right here, this one is actually an AI camera. Let's see if we can get it to work. I don't know if it works. Let's see. Can we get it to work? Hello. Maybe I have to. I think it has to look at me. Is that what it is? Is it this? Oh, that was the zoom. There we go. So now this camera can follow me around my room. Woo! Almost fell. And then I can stop the thing. And then like reset the camera. Julia, hello Julia. Love the new angles. Kind of cool, right? Never mind that account is a kid. What are we talking about? The person whose chats are not populating may be private, and that is cool. Oh. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I do have my privacy set to like 18 and older. So if anybody is here that is younger than 18, go on, get out of here. That was smooth. Yeah, it's a cool angle. It's a cool angle. I thought it'd be interesting to have both at the same time. I'm still playing around with this format a little. So I'll have to like do a little bit more work on it. But I think it's cool for people that want to see what's going on. This angle is pretty much like if I ever want to build something on my desk, people will have like two angles of it, you know? Like if I build a rig out or something. But that's kind of what I'm thinking of. You inspired me. Hey! Oh, shit, my bad. Hold on. Wow! Look at that, Andrew. I decided to start setting up OBS with the ADAM plugin. I was live for a bit, and my internet took a shit. You definitely got to be hardwired. I learned about being hardwired a long time ago, man. It's like now in my home, I don't have a single Wi-Fi connection except for like tablets and like my Nintendo Switch. Everything else is hardwired in. Yeah, I see the vision now. Yeah, I got a bunch of webcams, so I can put another webcam up in that far corner back there. And I think that'd be cool. That way you guys can really see the entire room over here. I am hardwired with gig. Oh, me too. Me too. My actual internet had an out. Oh, got it. Bro, you should have sent me your live, man. I would have loved to check it out. Did you go live on TikTok or YouTube? I don't know what language that is. Bang Puti Su ZV10K. What language is that, you guys? Do you guys know what language that is? Vietnamese? Let's find out. What language is this? Let's see. What language is it? Philip, Indonesian. Oh, guess what? Bang means brother. Brother Shahur. TikTok only. I'm setting up the OBS ADAM Stream Suite plugin to multi-stream right now. I don't even think I use the ADAM multi-stream thing. I just send a virtual cam over. Philippines. How'd you know that, Julia? You're smart. I made my decision. I'm getting the Sony 64 with a 16-50. Nice, dude. Where can we see your work portfolio? Jay, you can see all my stuff in my link in bio. Where are you, on YouTube? YouTube, you'll have to go to my front page of my YouTube, and then you can go to the beacons here, and then here you can see all my stuff. You can see my YouTube, my TikTok, my Instagram, my website, all this stuff right now. You just get a lot of viewers from there, and I assumed I do get a lot of viewers from there, but it's because they say that I look like this guy named Burong, and then I say I don't look like him, he looks like me. Made my decision to get a 28-70 G Master and the FX3. Sick, bro. That's a crazy kit, man. Is the 28-70 the F2? I am being extra. Setting up this plugin is a fun thing for me to learn. This is Andrew. Remember, MVP, brother. MVP. I'm the same way, man. When I'm tinkering with something, I like it, but I did force myself. I learned this through my production, my manufacturing job. I'm like, just do it. Do it, and like, you know, it's just better to just learn on the fly. Or I guess just be careful not to get too caught up on distractions, you know? I looked him up. And he looks like you. No, yeah, he looks like me, exactly. I guess he's a pretty popular streamer or creator over there, but whenever you see somebody coming in, it's like, Boorong! I thought people were calling me boring for the longest time, but yeah, they think I look like this guy named Boorong. By the way, guys, if you are curious, these are the two cameras that I'm using right now for my streams. This stream right here, this is the Canon R10 paired with the 23mm Sigma. This is going out to TikTok vertically. And then this one up here is a Canon R50 paired with a 16mm. And then I got another angle right here, this top-down angle. This is a R50V paired with a 18 to 50mm lens for those zooms, so people can like really zoom in. I can get some details in here. That is the R50V. And then I just recently added this angle. This right here is an Insta360 camera that I can control with some fancy buttons on my desk. And those are the four angles. I'm crazy, dude. I'm a nerd for this shit, Andrew. I'm a nerd for this shit. Just tinkering with stuff, but like actively doing it. You know what I mean? You are right. I think you saw my setup. You would say it looks solid. Yours is better though. No, bro, just get started, man. Get out there. It's cool to try stuff, man. One of the things that I learned is when trying to like encourage people is like, we spend a ton of time thinking about the problems that haven't even come up yet. You know, thinking about solving issues that haven't even bubbled to the surface yet. And when we do that, I see it all the time. When we do that, we never actually take action. This includes like buying a camera, like people that spend like weeks, months, years, sometimes years, not buying a camera. I have one video that reached 1.3 million viewers. It's my most popular video on TikTok. And I have a ton of comments on that of people saying like, I've been researching for months. I've been researching for 3 years and I still haven't bought one. I'm like, fuck, dude, decision fatigue is like crazy. Just pick something that you can afford, buy it, use it, and then see what you think. You know? I made another video. That one didn't do as well. 1.3 million. I don't know if I'll ever top that. But it was basically saying like you guys know that the first camera that you buy isn't the last camera that you'll buy. Thank you for the heart, mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Andrew B. Welcome in, buddy. Triple Lane also sent me some roses. Appreciate it. Elias, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, I was thinking about putting, I think I mentioned it earlier, about putting the YouTube chat over on TikTok, but I think TikTok will get mad at me for sharing a combined chat. Your audio today is extra crispy too. Yeah, I got a new software, or not OBS. Who was it? Elgato. Elgato released a new software for audio control. It's free too. Wavelink, it's called. And they yeah, this is Wave, so it's right here. This is the mic that I actually use, which is a nice mic, but they released this new software, and in this new software there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Let's see if it doesn't crash my whole system. We'll see. Here we go. Mixes. So I have all of this set up, and I have a bunch of effects on this to make my voice sound extra crispy. And now I have like full control of all my shit. So I can like increase the volume here of the music. I can decrease my mic as well a little bit. Super vibey. Do you use EF lenses? And if you do you use speed boosters? No, I used to have an EF lens, but I gave it away to a family member. But I use just a converter, not a speed booster. Hi, can you recommend some lenses for RF with the budget of 400? Which camera, which RF camera do you have? CJ's hamster. Yo, Julia, did you know that hamsters hibernate? A lot of people don't know that hamsters hibernate when the temperature drops. And a lot of people like buried their hamsters. Yeah, hamsters hibernate. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I didn't know that either, but when the temperature drops, they like automatically sleep for like weeks or months at a time. So like a lot of people buried their very alive hamster. I don't know why I shared that, but oh yeah, this guy's name is CJ's hamster. Yeah, can you imagine, you know, if they get buried inside of a shoebox, like the claw marks on the fucking on the inside of a shoebox? Horrible. Horrible. I might get a violation from TikTok for that. CJ's hamsters, what camera do you have, buddy? If you have a full frame camera, there's a bunch that I can recommend. Crop sensors, Sigma lenses all day, bro. Sigma lenses all day. This is the lens that I sent over to Junior. I gave him this. Did you see Junior's camera, Julia? By the way, I don't even know if he's used it. If he's used it yet. R50V. Oh, bro, you gotta get the Sigma lenses, man. Check out the Sigma lenses. All these Sigma primes right here. This one, the 12, the 16, the 30, the 23, the 56. Also, the zooms are kind of nice. This one's really nice. I have all these lenses, by the way. If you can afford it, the one that I recommend is, this is the R50V, by the way. I would recommend the 17 to 40 millimeter. This lens is fire, bro. I think it was waiting for it to get warmer too. Yeah. Yeah, I gave him this camera, the R50 or the R5. Just because I have the newer one. Is it here? Oh, here it is. I gave him this one with a 50mm lens, just hoping that he would find a use for it, you know? If you get a chance, now that you're good with your camera, try his. His camera, you're going to be like, wow. Sigma 28 to 45 f1.8. Obed Sunny. I've never seen that lens. That's the second time somebody said that lens. Let me check it out. Sigma 28 to 45. Ooh, it's expensive. Yeah, next time you see him, tell him to bring it with you. You're gonna hold that camera and you're gonna be like, whoa. And then you're gonna use it and you're gonna be like, holy shit. Yeah. This lens is pretty cool though. 28 to 45 f1.8 Sony E mount. This is expensive though. Jesus. It's big too. Look at it. It's enormous. It is an art lens though. It's first of its class. It looks like it, dude. The one that I like a lot right now is the 17 to 40. I really like it. It's an f1.8. Is this a full? Yeah, full frame. No wonder, dude. No wonder. Yeah, this lens looks special. I wish it was a little wider though. I wish it was 24. I know 28 to 24 doesn't seem like a lot, but it makes a difference. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. People that are just joining us over on YouTube, welcome in, welcome in. We're just talking about camera gear, camera lenses, lighting equipment. If you have any questions about a camera that you're thinking about picking up, let me know down in the comments, and we'll look at the prices, and I'll give you my opinion. There's a 24 to 70. Yeah, I do know the 24 to 70. Here's the M50 though, Julia. Look at this. It's crazy that this still costs $600 though. This is what it cost brand new back in the day, like 10 years ago when it came out, or 8 years ago. How long has this been out? Yeah, this is still a really good camera. I want one that is really different from the kit lens. I told you already, bro. The 18 to 50. The 18 to 50 or the 17 to 40. All of these are great. The kit lens is buns, bro. The Lumix S9 is very cool, dude. I did see a special on the Lumix website. Lumix S9. Somebody was in here that owned one, and they said that they have a lot of overheating issues. But if you go to Lumix, is it this one? This website? If you go to Lumix, they'll give you a free lens. They'll give you the 50mm lens included for the price. Oh no, so they'll give you two lenses for $16.99, $1,700. And look at all the colors. See, Julia, look at this. They got pink. The only thing I like about this camera, well, a couple things, is the colors. I would be the one that'd get like the bright green one. The white one looks clean too, but the brown one looks really sharp to me. Ooh, for the girlies. Yeah, the pink looks cool too. Yeah, but the fact that this comes with a free lens too from Lumix, this is the only place where I saw this special. If you go to B&H, it doesn't have that special. But yeah, this shoots open gate too. 6K 30p. Yeah, 6K open gate, exactly. A brown camera. Yeah, it looked nice. You don't think that's looking nice, bro? The brown one? I think it looks nice, dude. Full frame, open gate, 6K, 30 FPS. The only thing I don't like about it though is how small it is. Like there's zero grip on it, you know? Like this would be an issue. Retro vibes, yeah. Just interesting. I think it's cool. It is expensive though, in my opinion. So like this would be like an expensive camera that would just be for shits and gigs, you know? We watched what did we watch? We watched the video. Yeah, good for travel for sure. But then you'd have a massive lens on it anyways, right? Just wondering, what do you think about I love the C50. I have one. This is what impressed me the most, is the open gate. Uh-oh, did it freeze? Uh-oh. Something froze on me, guys. Google froze. Don't switch. Don't switch. Let's go back and open her up. Oh, I think YouTube froze on me. Uh-oh. Did it freeze? No, it's fine. I'm panicking for no reason. I'd Google, but I already forgot the camera name. At what price? Lumix S9. $1,600, $1,400. Yeah, no, I had like 20 tabs open on my Explorer, or my Explorer, on my what is it called? Chrome. Yeah, 17 I think for the lens, or for with the lens kit and everything, but the body only, and you know, body only is usually the way that I would go. But the Google price, I'm not the Google price, the Panasonic price is 17, but it comes with two lenses. It comes with the kit lens and it comes with the 50 millimeter. $1,000 at 1,700. And do you think the R50V over the A7C? CJ's Hamster, the R50V is a $600 camera. It's certainly not better than the A7C, and it's certainly not better than the ZV-E10 II. That being said, the R50V is a fantastic camera. It's so good, I have two of them. Which smaller camera and lens combo in your arsenal would you take with you on vacation? Any of them. Definitely the R50V. I would take, this is my everyday carry, and I would take this camera with me everywhere. This right here, this R50V, I'd be able to make everything with this. If I could only have one camera, and I didn't want a big chunky camera with a lot of lenses and shit, I would take some great photos with this and some great videos with this combo. Which audio effects did you add to the Elgato Wave? I can show you. I'll show you right meow. I added voice focus, Elgato EQ, Elgato compressor, Elgato de-esser. And I think that's it, yeah. And then Elgato noise removal, I found out later that its voice focus is the new one. Because I have a Elgato hardware. Jesus Christ. And then I just used AI to, I used ChatGPT to help me EQ my voice to make it sound more podcasty. Damn, that's not bad, especially with open gate. That's what I'm saying, the Lumix. Again, this camera isn't like, you know, I'm not going to take it onto a set or use it in professional settings, but just an everyday carry, you know, put a nice strap on it, like a, you know, a nice trendy leather strap. I'd be the cool guy. Obed Sunny, I considered an A7C and Lumix S9 are €15 and ended up going the S9 because of the stabilization. Yeah, that was a good choice. Dude, Lumix, for real though, fellas, Lumix really punches above its weight class, man. Not gonna lie, dude. Not gonna lie. The Lumix with the S5 II and the S5 IIX and even the S1 Lumix full frame. These cameras right here, guys, these are on point, dude. Like they're, it sounds crazy to say, like, look at this one, S1 IIR, dude. What is this? S1, is that 3? S1 2? S1 R2? S5 II? These are sick cameras, dude. They all have open gate, too. They have Sigma lenses. Shit. Yeah. If I had unlimited money, I would have already bought this one. Body only, though. 24 to 60. This looks cool. Yeah. FX3 and FX2. Sorry for all the questions. No problem, bro. That's literally why I'm here. CJ's Hamsters. I would do the FX3. I think the FX2, that little weird eyelet thing, is kind of weird. But truthfully, I probably wouldn't get any FX camera this year because I think the new FXs are coming out. Since you provide so much value, I wanted to share a tool I use in my streams. Check out 6K Labs. Cool overlay to show currently playing song. Oh, sick. 6K Labs. Let me save that. Control K. I'll add that to my notes. I will check it out. New FX better have open gate. Does any Sony camera have open gate? If the answer is no, I don't think they're gonna do it, bro. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do it. For those of you guys joining over on YouTube, all we're doing here is just checking out camera gear, answering camera questions, and kind of geeking over these cameras too, dude. Can't believe these Lumixes are like pretty affordable, dude. This one, and they also have the S52X, which is probably what I would get if I'm looking for these cameras. If you pay the exuberant price to rent it or whatever, all right, man, I'm gonna go live. I'll just be lurking in chat. All right, broski. Actually, I am also gonna get out of here, guys. I'm about to bounce. If you guys are still hanging out with me over on TikTok or YouTube, now is your opportunity to follow or subscribe. I'm gonna be heading out for the night. For those of you guys that were here with me the entire time, God bless you. Thank you so much, Julia. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. Sorry about the hamster story. YouTube, same thing. Adios, everybody. Toodles.